Hello, welcome to Telugu Oracle. In this video, I'll give you a brief overview of AI basics. Of course, we can learn more further. Artificial intelligence, or AI, as the name suggests, is imparting human intelligence to machines. Well, this is a broad area which has further domains. So one example of AI is when you're looking at this YouTube videos. It recommends more videos based on your viewing history. And then we have machine learning, which is a subdomain of AI, in which machine learning algorithms learn from past data and they analyze trends or predict outcome. For example, when you go to Amazon and search for something, and then at the bottom it'll uh, give you more such products, give such recommendations. So that is machine learning. And you might have heard of this or learned this linear regression. So y equal to mx plus c. Basically, this is predicting future outcome based on past data. For example, weather. It was based on 1 week's weather. You can predict like how it's going to be. Predict how it's going to be maybe tomorrow, or price of a product, how it changes. And then we have deep learning. This is a subdomain of machine learning where neural networks, which are basically developed on the concept of how neurons work in the human brain, these learn from complex data and predict outcomes. Or this even can generate new data. Yeah. And then we have generative AI, which is this is a branch of deep learning where you have models which are trained, which are developed and trained on huge amounts of data, which can generate content on their own from simple prompt or ask from the user or application. So you might be using some of the large language models already, which are like ChatGPT, Copilot, or Google Gemini, etc. So AI is applied in a lot of domains, but commonly this is applied in 3 domains, which I've listed here at the top. Speech, which is like your audio to text or text to audio conversion. Language, so if you give it some language, if you speak in some language, it can detect and also can translate. And vision, so this is like image classification, identifying a person in the video or in the picture, or creating videos or analyzing videos. Now let's discuss some examples. Google Translate is a good example for artificial intelligence. So here I've given 2 words, artificial intelligence, and it has detected that it is English, and I've selected the target language as Telugu, and it has converted each of those words into Telugu. So now if you give a sentence, it might not translate it properly, because this is basic high level artificial intelligence. Then you consider this machine learning. Here the example I've given is Amazon shopping. So I've just typed for a book called the Data Science from Scratch, and it has quickly identified what I'm searching for, and then using the uh, algorithm, it has identified different types of books and presented me here, suggesting if I may want to buy these books. Yeah. And then deep learning goes further, which is here the example is each person's handwriting is different. So how do you extract the exact numbers from a document? So here, the concept of deep learning, because it works in the neural networks, how the human brain analyzes the shapes, sizes, and the indent contours of each of these images, and finally produces an output. So this is an example of deep learning. So if you give this picture to a deep learning model, it'll identify clearly what that number is. So this is kind of a model where you will use in a commonly in a image detection, image classification scenarios. And as I said, difference between machine learning and data and deep learning, sorry, is that machine learning requires extracted features of data to produce output. Whereas the deep learning, it just takes the image and it learns on its own because human brain learns on its own using the neurons. The last concept is last and the latest concept actually is generative AI. So you might have heard of this lots of times in the recent days. You might have used one already, like ChatGPT, Copilot, or Google Gemini. So here I'm just requesting Copilot to write a story in Telugu, and I I don't know what data it has, what it will produce, and how it produces. It just generates because Copilot it's been trained on a huge amount of data. So it will take my command, it will encode it, and it will give me the output. Please comment any questions you have on the topic and I will respond. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel and spread the word. It encourages us to make more videos and for your learning journey. Until then, learn well and be curious. Thank you.